Have you ever wondered who gets paid $10,000 for one Instagram story? Well, I've got the people, I've got the rates, I work in influencer marketing, and let's talk about some influencer rates. It's been a minute. Influencer number one has 1.5 million followers. She's a lifestyle and mum blogger, kind of like the Melissa Wood Health but of Europe. She's a super engaged audience. She has an engagement rate of 2.7%, but I believe it's higher than that. Her reels get between 500,000 to 1.5 million views. Like, imagine, she knows how to tell a story, she knows how to cut through, and she obviously is very intentional with brand deals because I didn't see a lot of brand deals on her page. But this also might be indicative of her rates because her rates were super high. For one dedicated Instagram reel, it's $17.5 thousand. And so when it says dedicated, it means like it's all about the product. If sometimes it's not dedicated and they just weave it into a story of like a get ready with me or day in my life, and they'll integrate your brand that way. For one Instagram story, it's 9.5K, and for an Instagram story set, 14.5K. So you definitely get a bigger discount if you go for multiple story sets. Someone like this, I wouldn't necessarily work with unless it's super on brand, and I would definitely do a test and learn campaign and then consider doing a long-term partnership with them over 12 months or 6 months after you see the results of the first campaign. Influencer number two has 2.2 million followers, and she has a super engaged audience. Her reels get between 150,000 views to 1.5 million views. Like, that is amazing. The secret is she has a whole team behind her. She isn't just a one-man show. She has literally a staff of like 7 to 10 people working for her, from finance to content to strategic partnerships to negotiation to PAs to content ideas, editing, everything. This person is a media company. She's her own platform. Think about going on TV. Are you guaranteed to get 150,000 people tuning in? Because that's how many people are watching her reels at minimum. So this person's great. And if you were to work with her, I wouldn't recommend doing a one-off. I would recommend doing something that's actually integrated across different channels. So I went in and I was like, look, we have 20K. We want to split it over a few months. So what can we do? Put forward a multi-channel strategy on podcasts, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, link in bio, a highlight, basically the works. I really wanted to milk it. I was like, this is what I'm thinking for this budget. So they came back to me with 8 Instagram story frames, 4 Instagram story link taps, and 1 in-feed integration. So that it's up to the influencer's discretion whether it could be within the reel of like a mention or a dedicated reel or Instagram photo dump or a standalone photo. So it's up to the influencer. There's no guarantee for this 20K rate what the in-feed will be. And the sticker tap is really that easy path to purchase. So you definitely want that in the stories. I thought that was really high for the 20K because it is really focused on 2 months only. It's not long-term. It's not multi-channel. So I kind of went back to her and I was like, look, if we're doing only Instagram stories, my budget's 7.5K. It's 2 sets of stories and 1 in-feed dedicated, and allow listing, which is when you boost the content as UGC. So sometimes you'll see your favorite influencers having a reel that's actually an ad. That's what allow listing means. They came back, they were not happy with this. They came back and said something like that costs $40,000 to $60,000. And I was like, okay, I worked out that this person charges around $15,000 per one story set. We've already been given a discount in the past. There is clearly brand alignment. So they were like, we can't go any lower. They did say that for 7.5, they could make 3 sets of story frames work, just stories, no in-feed and no link in bio. I appreciate that this influencer and her team stood their ground and they knew the value of their platform, and sometimes it's worth it, sometimes it's not. And I think this person is worth it if we're working with a lot of people in that clique or in that niche. So the target audience is seeing your brand across multiple different people at the same time, and it's having that halo effect. And the last one is a YouTuber. And so she's one of the OG YouTubers. She has 2.3 million subscribers on YouTube. She's amazing. She has around 200,000 followers on Instagram. For one YouTube integration, it's $25,000. Everyone, keep doing your YouTube because it will pay off one day. And she has a pretty low engagement rate on Instagram, unfortunately, at 0.8%. And the average benchmark of good engagement on Instagram is anything above 2%. So definitely her audience is more focused on YouTube. Renee, where have you been? You haven't been doing influencer rates. Oh, yeah, I know. I've been busy. I moved country. Yeah, I've just been living my life, and making TikToks has been really fun. And I tried to branch out into other topics, but people only really care about influencer rates. Oh my God. Yeah. So you're going to do another influencer rates video? Yeah, I am actually.